This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. North Korea is reporting no new fever cases for the first time since it abruptly admitted to its first COVID outbreak and placed its 26 million people under more draconian restrictions in May. AP correspondent Julie Walker has more.
The government said today it had found 0 fever patients in the latest 24-hour period. The country's death count remains at 74, a mortality rate that would be the world's lowest if true. There have been widespread outside doubts about North Korean statistics. Some experts say the government has likely manipulated the scale of illness and death to help leader Kim Jong-un maintain absolute control. I'm Julie Walker.
Ukraine has demanded Russia be held accountable for a missile attack that killed dozens of Ukrainian prisoners of war at a Russian-operated detention facility in eastern Ukraine. The Ukrainian government on Saturday called on the United Nations and the International Committee of the Red Cross to immediately investigate Friday's attack. With international outrage building over the missile strike, the United Nations pledged support to help investigate the prison attack. Russia and Ukraine have accused each other of carrying out the attack. Neither claim could be independently verified. So far, no international aid organizations have been granted access to the bombed-out site. The Red Cross requested access to help evacuate the wounded. At least 25 people, including 4 children, have died in floods unleashed by torrential rains in eastern Kentucky in the United States. The state's governor said Saturday that more fatalities are expected. President Joe Biden declared a major disaster in Kentucky on Friday, allowing federal funding to be allocated to the state. This is VOA News. Hundreds of followers of an influential Shiite cleric have breached Iraq's parliament for a second time this week to protest the government formation efforts led by Iran-backed groups. Iraqi security forces used tear gas and sound bombs on Saturday to try to repel the demonstrators. That came after protesters used ropes to tear down cement walls leading to the heavily fortified district. The protesters are followers of influential Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr, who called for the demonstrations against the formation of the next government by Iran-backed political groups. In the U.S., the Pacific Northwest is seeing record highs tumble amid another summer heat wave. AP correspondent Tim McGuire has more.
The high in Seattle hasn't been below 90 degrees Fahrenheit since last Monday. The city has never had 6 straight days of 90-degree heat. Forecasters say that record could fall since they don't see any likely highs below 90 at least through Sunday. Chris Branson and others with Seattle Reach have been getting water and other hot weather supplies to the homeless.
There's no escape from the heat, right? Even in the shade when it's 90 degrees, it's still sweltering.
Orson Lee and his dog live in his camper truck.
I try and stay in the shade, but it doesn't really help a whole lot. The sun moves around, like it or not.
It's even hotter in Portland, where the thermometer has topped 100 every day since Tuesday and is expected to do it again on Saturday as the National Weather Service extends the excessive heat warning for the 2 cities until Sunday night. I'm Tim McGuire.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on Saturday outlined a draft referendum question in a bid to change the Constitution to set up a representative Indigenous body in Parliament. Australia's Constitution currently does not recognize Indigenous peoples, and the move to enshrine a consulting body to advise the government on Indigenous matters would require a nationwide referendum. Albanese, elected in May, had promised a referendum vote to be held before the end of his term in 2025. It remains unclear how the referendum will take shape, but proposing the draft question to Aboriginal Australian leaders and the public would be a first step. Pope Francis says he can no longer travel like he used to because of his strained knee ligaments. He says his week-long Canadian pilgrimage this week was a bit of a test that showed he has to slow down and one day possibly retire. Speaking to reporters while traveling home to the Vatican, the 85-year-old Pope stressed Saturday he hadn't thought about resigning, but that the door is open. He said there's nothing wrong with the Pope stepping down. And North Korea is reporting no new fever cases for the first time since it admitted to its first COVID outbreak. Marissa Melton, VOA News.